As we all know, this year at the end of May and the end of June, Galaxy's Edge, Black Spire Outpost is going to open at Disneyland in California and Disney World in Florida. So this past 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago at Star Wars Celebration during the Galaxy's Edge panel, they announced previously already that they were going to put out books for Black Spire Outpost and books for Galaxy's Edge, kind of the lore and background story. But they also announced that this month in April they were going to put out the Galaxy's Edge comic, and this week issue 1 had dropped, so I immediately went to go pick it up. I, of course, one of my habits is to grab a few issues back from the stack, pick up one that's been picked up less, so it's kind of in better condition. And I meant to pick up that original cover with Han Solo on the front, but not noticing, I grabbed the variant edition because I started grabbing other comics, so I didn't notice. And I picked up the variant edition, which is just as beautiful. This is the way it's going to look at Disneyland. I cannot wait to actually be here in real life, but I'll probably go back and get the Han Solo edition because I really want that one as well. And I was so excited to jump into the lore and the background story. I know that with the Galaxy's Edge info that they were releasing, they had already released this character here, Dok-Ondar, and I believe he is going to have a store in Black Spire Outpost as Dok-Ondar's Shop of Antiquities, and you can pretty much pick up all your merch and toys and whatnot. I will be there spending all of my money. And immediately, because the original has Han Solo on the front, it ties Black Spire Outpost to Han Solo and Chewie, because of course they're smuggling all over the galaxy, and why not have a storyline that ties into Batuu itself. And it jumps right in and introduces the city, the planet. It says it's a haven for like smugglers and merchants, travelers from all over. It's almost like Jakku and a lot of these other small planets that have just kind of a hub for these bad guys and rebel spies, or to get information, to get items they're after. And then immediately you meet these characters, Remix, Kendo, and Woru, and they're after an item. But of course we jump right into a story that Dok-Ondar tells about Han Solo. I won't tell you what it was that they smuggled to Dok-Ondar because it's pretty crazy. I don't want to spoil it, but it's an awesome story, and it of course jumps right into Han Solo and Chewie on another adventure, getting into trouble and into this big mess. But in the end, it just ties back to Black Spire Outpost. Like, that's the kind of people it brings, and that's what connections it has. Another kind of Easter egg that I saw on Twitter, if you've seen Star Wars Resistance, there's an episode where Kaz is in Kragan's office, and Kragan is kind of like his boss, and Kragan supposedly fought in the Clone Wars, and there's a picture in his office that Kaz picks up, and it's of Kragan and his wife and like his daughter, and that same backdrop in that picture is the same backdrop as Batuu, which is so awesome. What an awesome Easter egg to have noticed. That Kragan and his family are from Black Spire Outpost. That is so cool. We got another character that we already know, and he is from this world that we're about to go into and learn more about. So that's what I'm really excited about, is to know these characters, and it's exciting to have a brand new like hub, that outpost, a brand new planet in the galaxy that's never been introduced, so that we can jump into the new stories and the background and the characters that come through there. And of course Han Solo came through there, and it's really exciting. So the next issue doesn't come out till May 22nd, and that's like opening week of Galaxy's Edge. And then you got Rita on the front of it there. I will pick up the right edition, the one that I want. I'll probably pick a variant anyways as well, but I was really excited about this one. This is the way it's gonna look. It's gonna be so cool. I'm beyond excited, and that's a whole other video to talk about. The one other comic that I picked up this past week, still Star Wars related, I picked up Age of the Rebellion Special. It's 11 of 36, so it's the kind of the best moments and the greatest moments of, you know, some of the Star Wars comics, and it's Heroes of the Rebellion. I didn't pick up any of the other ones. I know there's a lot of them, but I just specifically picked this one up, and I picked the variant that Jen Bartel did the cover of. It's beautiful. Anything Jen Bartel I will buy, but I picked this one specifically because it has a story of IG-88, and it's from the comic The Long Game, which I gotta read, because I picked it up because IG-88 is in it again. He is going to be kind of another central character in the Mandalorian TV show coming up. What I loved most was in the back in the end, they had the stories behind the stories, and here we had like concept art and original art from, the original trilogy, the Star Wars movies in the very beginning, the idea behind Yoda and how he came to have the name Yoda. It used to be Buffy before. And just the info on IG-88, the kind of Easter egg of a droid. He was in the background of Empire. He's in the Cantina. He's on the Executor. He is kind of this backdrop character, which just goes to show how many backstories and how many other ways you can go into the galaxy and tell a different story of a different character. And then just more recently, he was in Forces of Destiny and Clone Wars, but now he's going to play the bounty hunter that he is in The Mandalorian. And in that behind the scenes trailer that they showed at the Mandalorian panel at Star Wars Celebration, you got that first glimpse, that first shot of IG-88 spinning around and like shooting people down. Everybody was like, whoa, who is this guy? And it's just because he's been a backdrop character and now he's coming to life and coming to the big screen. And he is going to be the ultimate killing machine, literally. Some of these panels in here, I cannot wait to see played out because they just have to be. They're that cool and they're that perfect for screen, for TV, that I don't see why they wouldn't go with some of these panels, some of these storylines, and some of these scenes that he comes in and kind of saves himself. Again, I don't want to ruin it. Another one was Yoda. They did it was the day before, or it was the day of, and it's just kind of moments before Luke had landed and Yoda met him, and you just saw him and kind of saw the clarity in this boy. That one was pretty cool. It just reminds me of Empire and makes me sad, makes me nostalgic. I want to watch it again. And the last bit was Biggs and Porkins. It's an excerpt from, let me see the name of this comic, from Stolen Valor, and it's kind of got this interesting tone, very humorous, very like not to be taken very seriously, but also kind of serious because Porkins is kind of depressed and he's upset and rethinking like his life with the rebellion, and yet the humor in it made it like, what's going on here? It was very interesting, very funny. Makes me miss Biggs, makes me miss Porkins, and it was an interesting little addition to this edition. Those are funny little good moments because everybody loves Porkins, everybody loves Biggs. They're part of the Star Wars galaxy and they're part of the family, so it's just great to have some of these excerpts, some of these stories put in there from all these beloved characters, whether they're the main ones or background or just extra and supporting. It's always fun to read back and remember these characters, but definitely go pick this one up, and then also find the long game, because I'm gonna go find it and read more about IG-88, this bounty hunter droid that's gonna be insanely cool in The Mandalorian. It's the closest we get to information on the characters that are gonna be in it, because we got nothing else besides that behind the scenes look. And he's just going to be super cool. I figure he's going to be competition with Pedro Pascal's character. That's going to be really cool to see play out between the two of them, because, IG-88 is this literally heartless and just emotionless droid, and he's just kind of built to kill, whether he's rewarded or not. And then Pedro Pascal being human, he's going to have some emotions. I figure he's still going to be an amazing bounty hunter, but you never know how it's going to play out, whether they make him very human and he shows emotion and maybe remorse and all of that, but then IG-88 doesn't have any of that, so that's going to be super cool. That's why I picked this one up. It's a short sort of review. I thought I was going to make it short, and of course I just ramble on, but those are the two Star Wars comics that I picked up this week. There are many other great ones to be out that came out this week. Go and read them all. Let me know what you thought of these if you picked them up, if you picked up other ones, something that I totally should be reading and reviewing and talking about, all that good stuff. May the force be with you. Have a great week, guys. Thanks.